Welcome to Bros, Bumps, and Beers. We are back for episode 10. Yes, you heard that right. Episode 10, double digis, 2 numbers. Episode 10, right, Matt? You hate me, eh? So I am, as always, Pat, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Gagne.
You can't just change your nicknames.
You told me to. You told me last night I had to change my nickname because you can't be the EST of Triple B. Which one? Pick one. Those are the two.
No, we'll figure something out. You can.
Well, anyways,
you're an idiot.
The right there being a big baby is Matt Tooties Gagne. And of course, mixing the sound, our producer, Jordan the Guava God Schofield, who has a shirt on today, which is very upsetting.
Highly disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, ferociously
He
disappointing.
has a way better nickname than I do.
And can I just say, you guys are looking pretty today. You know why I say that? Because Matt is in front of me and Jordan is to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in studio, in the same room, working with live mics. What a day.
It took a lot of hard work to get to this point. Took a lot of bargain basement looking on the internet for quality equipment. But yeah, this is like, it's exciting and like super nerve-wracking at the same time for me because it's been like 10 years since I've been in front of a soundboard. So I'm just sitting here. I can't even. And the bloody headphones didn't work, so I can't even tell how that sounds on the audio. But this should. Jesus, that was
a good open.
It looked good on the squiggles.
That was a good open.
But no, like this should be a lot of fun. It's just a lot more for me to keep track of, but I'm not particular at all. So I'm just
you're laid back.
No, I'm not going to be worried about this the whole time.
Like easy breezy Jordan Schofield.
Easy breezy.
No one's ever worried about.
And just for the sake of an in person.
Edit that out, bitch. We can't edit. It's not stereo right now.
Well, edit it out.
Anyways, well, what does this mean though? Like in person, I think possibilities are endless. I think we could see a live on-air assault. I think Matt is very close to me, and I think he may jump over the table and actually.
Oh, I can for sure jump this table.
Yeah,
no problem.
And above that, we might see people flipping tables.
True.
Or we could go through a table. I think.
Oh, WWE stuff.
So
let's go.
The microphones I bought are on the tables, so if we could just super not flip the tables.
Oh, I'd move the mic first, like WWE. You know, you gotta
pull off all the dangerous stuff. Move all the wires.
It would be a minute of rage interior, but you know you can't.
And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care about this microphone. I ain't paid for him yet.
That's true. That's true. Way, as of this moment, I've yet to be paid.
I will pay your money ASAP, Rocky.
So, anyways, so another thing is we're doing this in my basement. So the lovely Rayanne, my fiance, she actually left the house to give us our space, and then
thank God, am I right?
Shh, no one's gonna hear this. I love you, Rayanne. But then she left the dog here, so obviously, so you might have a little cameo appearance from Fenway. Not today, though.
What's the name of your dog?
Fenway.
Oh, that's lame.
Is it?
Yeah, was Skydome taken?
Should I have named him Rich Marner or Bitch Marner?
Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Should have named him Mark Scheifele's Achilles.
We're also recording very early today because Jordan wants to watch the Leafs lose.
Well, I mean,
we watched the Jets lose last night, so
let's not talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. That's very upsetting. And it's Sunday. Did we mention it's Sunday?
It is Sunday because
we do have the day off tomorrow too. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. I'm going away Monday to Wednesday, so we said, hey, let's do it. Let's make an afternoon of it, you know?
Yeah, and you know what the best part of being a teacher is? Long weekends, they don't exist in the summer.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, it's the long weekend. I'm like, oh, it is?
Yeah. You know what? Until I woke up this morning and Rand told me I didn't even know it was Sunday. So
how do I turn this audio down?
Yeah, well, Jordan.
Fucking unbelievable.
Suck on it.
So, I mean, another new development this week, Pat started going to the gym.
This is gonna be great. This isn't the first time. So what, starting to the gym time is this? Is this your 10th time you've started going to the gym?
I haven't been to a gym that is spelled G-Y-M.
Got it.
I haven't been there.
Isn't that pronounced Gaime?
Gaime?
I thought so, and then I was corrected. But I don't think I've been to a gym to lift heavy things in about...
Let's get real.
Moderately heavy things in about 3 years. So, you know what? I found out there's a gym, Sweat Equity Fitness, shout out, right at 2-minute walk.
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a
2-minute walk from my house, so I had no excuse. So I went there, and they had a great promo, so I'm in. I'm on 4th day in a row going. Yesterday was a little bit embarrassing. I explained it to Big Mike Gagne, my father, me and Matt's father, that I was going to the gym. I'll come with you.
Shut up.
There is nothing more emasculating.
Your dad came with you to the gym?
For the record, my dad is...
he's a big fella.
He's 58 years old.
Yeah, he's
there's
not
nothing
small.
more emasculating than your 58-year-old father coming to the gym with you, and he goes, "Hey, we'll work out together." Cool, this is awesome. Working out with my dad, little father-son body.
Yeah,
time.
well, how fast were you in the body bag? Was he just like, "Hey, is this enough weight?"
We started with bench press, and
great. Oh, yeah.
and I put on a little bit of weight. And then he was like, "Oh, good rep," and then he proceeded to put on like 2 full plates, and then I was like, "Oh, like what is that like your max?" No, warm up. I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
same." So yeah, but I think I got through like 3 exercises, and then I looked at him like, "Look, Dad, I'm gonna go do my own thing. This is just unbelievable. Like I can't."
I mean, I work out quite often.
Yes, he does.
And I still go to the gym with our dad.
6'7",
280 pounds. And I think he does it to like prove he can still do it.
He's fucking flexing on you guys so hard.
He'll body bag me every time. He's like, "Okay, let's go do this." I'm like, "Man, we just finished that exercise. Give me a minute."
Well, the best part was when he was signing up for that gym, the new gym that I go to. The guy who was running the gym was like explaining to me. I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go. I want to try a new gym. I get a little bored." And he's like, "Yeah, you look like you've been to the gym a little bit." I'm like, "Fine." Like the guy is, and like,
was he like, "Who's this Make-A-Wish kid you're bringing?"
I'm sweating, and then I'm done. I was there for an hour. I'm like, "All right, Dad, I'm done. I'm going home." "All right, yeah." I'm like, "Are you going home too?" "No, I still got a little bit." I'm like,
holy.
He doesn't do leg workouts. Let's get real here.
Yeah, I don't think leg workouts are a part of the Gagne family.
Whoa. I do legs twice a week.
Okay,
every week.
Good.
It doesn't show.
Hey?
No,
No, because I have a Gagne lower half.
Yeah.
We're notorious for just...
You guys are, like, waist up. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, just take a picture. Yeah, well,
yeah, real waist up.
Yeah,
real waist up.
That's right. But moving on. Hey,
does the trick. I got 2 kids.
Another big shout out.
It works.
A big shout out to the Q. I went there on Friday, and again, being a teacher, didn't realize it was a long weekend. They had a bunch of new releases come out at noon. I got there.
They had one new release that everybody was trying to get at noon, which was the 4 Winds. Which honestly,
why were they hype? Okay, can I ask you, like, what? Like, I feel like it was only a big deal because they hyped the shit out of it.
Well, I mean, that's...
They've been trying to get it in since like December of 2017, I think they said on their Instagram post. So I went. They had the Nectaris.
Nectaris? Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Which is their sour, which apparently was supposed to be the best sour you're ever going to try. It was okay.
Whoa, I haven't tried it.
It was okay.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers, man.
Yeah, it's okay. You weren't the only one disappointed by a sour this week.
We'll get there. The Juxtapose, which is their IPA, and then they had a 4-pack of the Norwood. I'm not sure. I think it was a Saison.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted it. Like, they hyped it, and everybody went. I don't know. I didn't get it.
Props to them. Like, there was a line to the register, 10 people deep already when I got there. And the guys, the staff...
They're fantastic.
You know what? I was, like, looking at his cart, and he's like, "Go for it, man." And I took 2, and I'm like, "Thanks." He's like, "I don't even know why I stocked these shelves." Like, they had pallets to the roof, and people were just picking off the pallets. They didn't even care.
The guys there are super nice, too. Like, if you think they have a beer in stock and you can't find it, like, if you ask, like, I had a guy, I was looking for the Moosehead Key Lime thing that came out recently, which is the best, the best key lime thing that's come out recently.
You like it better than Muskoka?
Did I say the wrong one? It was the one that was there a few weeks ago. Maybe it was Muskoka's. I think I messed up. It wasn't Moosehead. Sorry, it was Muskoka.
Moosehead is coming out with a key lime.
Oh, okay, so it was the Muskoka one, and I could not find it, and that's half the reason I was there. And I went to the guy. I'm like, "Okay, you had these Muskoka key limes somewhere." And he goes, "Oh yeah, they're right here." Now, when he said right here, he meant like on top of the highest shelf where you couldn't see them. But he like walks to the back, gets a stepping stool, gets up there, pulls the thing down, goes, "How many you want?" I'm like, "2, I guess." And he goes, "Okay, 2." And then so the staff there is they're great. They're really helpful.
And when it's not busy there, and you go up to the register, like they'll ask like, "Oh, have you've tried this one before?" They're like, love how conversation.
Yeah, they geek out a little bit.
Yeah, and that's cool. And like, just props to them. They really handled it well. I gave them a shout out on Twitter, and they retweeted, and I really appreciate that. And they did a really good job. Long weekends are probably not easy at that place.
No, I don't think any day's easy at that place.
I went there Thursday at noon, and regretted that instantly because as I was leaving, I'm like, wait, Friday's the day. Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I got all these messages Friday, and I was like, I
went there directly from golfing. 12:05, I got there, and I'm like, man, there's no way there's people in here already.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I
felt real bad for the guy in front of me that just had a 15 PBR and a 12-pack of the Moosehead Radler.
If you're going there for that, you're just go to the Pemmy down the street.
Yeah, and that's what I was like, man, you should have drove 5 minutes and
I was looking for a beer there, and there's this guy, he was talking shell, so I go up, hey man, like, I'm looking for, I don't even remember what beer it was, I'm looking for this, and he goes, oh, no, I don't work here, I'm an original 16 rep. I'm like, oh, that's too bad, and I walked away.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So, I mean, I think we should, now that we're talking beer, I think we should just, Jordan, I'm going to give you the time.
Thank you.
I promised you I'd give you the time, because it was the big reveal. It was the Country Sour Series Guava Sour from TCB.
County, you say country every time. It's the
County.
You know
what? I make that mistake. It's county. I say country all the time, though.
I have the cans. I'm sorry. My apologies, TCB. But Jordan, go ahead. This is your guava journey.
Okay. You know, being where do I want to start this? This is interesting. So, being a child of Caribbean parents, white Caribbean parents, I had a very interesting upbringing as a kid. Now, one thing that I did get was a lot of exposure to fruits and things of that nature that you don't usually see. So, like, sugarcane was a pretty regular thing in my house. You know, guavas I always really liked, but we didn't have a lot of those. We had so many mangoes. I actually don't even eat them anymore because I, like, over-mangoed as a kid. But what I found over my years...
Big mango fan.
Yeah, Matt loves his mangoes. So, the thing is that I just think guava's amazing in beer. And since we started this podcast, the Guava 66 came out from Barnhammer, and I just thought, like, that was about the pinnacle of what you can do with a flavored beer. Like, I thought that was perfect. And, you know, there's other fruits with the County Sour series where, like, melon just blew my mind.
I believe it's Country Sour.
Oh, is it?
No, it's County. Yeah. You're an idiot.
County Sour.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. The County Sour series, like, there's some that come out. Like, the raspberry came out, and I'm like, I don't really like.
Which was delicious, by the way.
But I don't like raspberries, so you kind of.
I don't like raspberries either, but
then
it's still delicious.
Like, if they came out with, like, I don't know, like a banana sour, it probably tastes terrible, but I love bananas. So
hold up. How can you make a banana sour?
I don't know.
They would do it though.
They would try.
They would try.
So here's the thing, I had the guava sour. I think I hyped it too much in my head.
You think?
That doesn't sound like something you did at all.
Jordan, that doesn't sound like something you would do.
Here's the thing. It's a good sour. Like, it's not like, I'm not about to give it, like, this rating, and if you know my rating system, I gave it a 3.5, which means it is good. Like, it's a good sour. Their like, achievement and fault at the exact same time was the melon was the most unexpected, delicious thing I've had in a long time.
I gotta have this melon thing, because I haven't had it yet.
The melon sour was like, you drank it, and it was just like, you got the sour, and then it was like you were eating a melon, right?
It really was. It did taste like melon.
And that's the thing, is like, I found the prickly pear, I don't even know what that is, to be honest, but I thought that had a ton of flavor. The raspberry just felt like that one had flavor too. I think with the guava, I just wanted more guava. And that's what I didn't get. So it's not a bad sour, it's just... when I think of the sour series, I now put everything up against the melon, and maybe that's the blessing and the curse of what TCB has. But I gave the guava sour a 3.5, worth a try. But if someone has a melon in the back of their fridge, just steal it and don't tell them.
You know what it is though? I think a lot of people really overhyped that guava one. Because I had some friends last night, they were drinking it and they were like, "Oh man, I'm so psyched!" They crack it, they drink it. I go, "How is it?" And they go, "It's good."
Yeah. TCB has done a great job though with this County Sour series,
which
people are like, they look for it.
They look in the country for it, for the County Sour.
This will be the last episode of Bros.
Hey!
But they've done a really good job hyping them. I feel
we should call a segment like 3 County.
But I feel like every time they release one, people are like, "We gotta get it." And that's always a good thing.
Yeah, not a bad thing
if you're moving the product as quickly as possible because of hearsay, I mean,
like, do you think
anticipation?
Do you think this is going to be like a yearly thing? Did they do this last summer too?
Yeah, but they did it with like a few less. So they did like a peach last summer and a couple others.
Okay.
So maybe they just like, they'll keep doing. It seems like they do it every summer, but I mean, to be honest, like TCB, they're knocking it out the park with their brunch things. They just opened Tom's Pizzeria on Corridon.
Well, that's them.
Yeah, so that's them. That's the pizzeria that's in TCB is Tom's Pizzeria on Corridon. Okay. Now the whole thing, I hope they have better luck because there's been 3 pizzerias in there before them and no one's stuck. Mm-hmm. But I like genuinely wish them all the best because I think their pizzas are good. So they're doing a great job. And so it was just like, you know, there's a bunch of beers in there I really like. It's just, I think the guava, everything now will be up to the melon. And it's either going to be as good as the melon, close to the melon, or not the melon.
And see, with me, it's like...
That's a lot of times saying the word melon.
It's prickly pear and raspberry. Those are what I compare all mine to. Those are my two favorite, and they're very even. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, you're expecting more.
Yeah. Okay, so Pat, thank you for giving me the floor. Because of that, please move on to what looks like your sour as well, but I'm looking at the back of the can. Oh, yes, it is.
We are all doing a sour.
We're all doing a sour. Jordan had tried this earlier, and he talked about it last week. And he did this. I'm doing the Sweetie from Barnhammer, the key lime pie sour. And, you know, I'm...
Kettle sour, right?
I just said key lime pie sour.
I think it's a kettle sour.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm a sour guy. Everybody knows this. Everybody listens. I love sour beer.
Both beers and life.
Yeah.
Very sour.
Wow.
Sour pants.
This will be the last episode of Roast Bumps and Beers.
That's your
Don't
nickname.
Overuse it.
Sour Pants Pat Gagne.
Let me handle the nicknames. Okay, Junior. So anyway, you know,
years older than
Don't
you.
change guava.
I saw a lime. I saw lime and I saw sour, and I was very excited about it. And
I know, right?
I see the pie part.
I know, right?
I tried to get Jordan out of my head, but you're drinking it. I wanted it to be creamy.
It's not.
And
that's
you know what?
the problem.
I don't want to do this. I personally, I'm a big Barnhammer fan.
Yeah.
It's just a step above Bud Light Lime.
What?
Yeah.
There's no way.
I actually don't disagree with that.
You know, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I could drink 4 or 5 of these. No problem.
Yeah, there's a place in the world for Bud Light Lime. Just
absolutely.
not at $4
I'm a big Bud Light Lime.
It's just, I wanted it to have that creamy pie flavor.
Now, is that our fault? Because it's not advertised. Like, Matt's going to talk about the next one.
Yeah.
And that is what we thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. This might be the bar for, like...
See, that's...
Anyways, we'll get there.
Go ahead, Pat, because I think we did this to ourselves. I did this to you because I'm the first one. I went there the day of.
Yeah.
I think it's my fault.
It's not great. It's not terrible. It's passable. If you're going to ask me on Untapped, you can follow me at Pat Gagne. I'm going to give it a 3. It's not anything that'll blow your socks off. It's not
And that's
amazing.
A Pat 3. So that's like a Jordan 2.
Yeah. I'll drink it. Don't get me wrong. If I see this like on tap and it's there, I'm going to have one at least.
It's just you were expecting... And I put it in your head. So Barnhammer, this is my fault.
This might be the week of overhyping beer.
Yeah, and it's my fault.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, no, and I haven't had what Matt's about to talk about next, and I've been waiting. I've been saving it.
If you overhype this and it's not as good as I think it should be, I'll be upset. So Matt, the floor is yours. Go ahead. You're the last beer review.
All right. So basically, since we started this podcast, we were almost in conjunction with the launch of Vessel. So we've reviewed the Salty Dog. We've reviewed Pineapple Pete. So I was at the queue on Friday and I grabbed myself 2 Meringue-a-Tangs, which, by the way,
selfish. Great
name.
Matt, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I'm not overhyping the beer at all. I haven't had one yet, and I bought 5 without even trying it. So,
but how many guavas did you buy?
8.
Yeah.
But 2 are for my trainer, and 1 is for one of you guys. So sorry, continue.
No, that's fine. So yes, the Meringue-a-Tang. First of all, it's a Vessel beer. We have to talk about the can.
God, their cans are sick.
It's got the monkey on it, the Meringue-a-Tang, if you will.
I know. Their cans are dope as shit.
It's got the meringues that would be on the pie as cloud. It's just, again, really cool. Shout out to Trevor Thomas, who did the artwork for the can. It is awesome. Like, again, they knock it out of the park with the artwork. I think Salty Dog is still my favorite can. I thought that was like summer personified, but this one's really cool.
Summer personified? Look at you.
I know, right?
You're artsy, eh?
So the Meringue-a-Tang is a 5.3 IBU, which is nice because it's not too strong. You don't get any booziness. It is a lemon meringue milkshake sour.
Wow.
Everything in there is very important. It is tart, yet it's frothy. It has that frothy milkshake.
Let's all say that together.
Frothy milkshake.
Mouthfeel.
God, these bikes are probably such... This is going to be something to look at.
It's got a nice lemon tartness to it. When you sip it, and then it's got a nice subtle. It's not overpowering the vanilla finish. It's incredibly smooth. You could drink a lot of these. I'm just gonna say, because the sour and the milkshake are so balanced, it doesn't feel heavy. Which some milkshake sours can start to feel a little bit heavy if you drink a bunch of them. It's really, really good. Like, think of, and I'm not a pie guy. I am not a lemon meringue pie guy, especially.
I'm a huge pie guy.
Yeah. So if you like lemon meringue pie, this is it in a beer can.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Hey, hit us with the score, Matty.
So you can follow me at on Untapped at Gagne Matt.
With 2 T's.
I just whatever. But hate you guys. I gave this a 4.
Oh my god.
And I gave it a 4 because
a 4 for a sour is like me giving a 4 to an IPA.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
my sour guy. Matt's
not a sour guy.
No, like my favorite sour to date has been Cosmos. That's the only one I've really gone above and beyond that for, I believe. I've reviewed a lot of beers on Untapped.
Who would have thought, like, we would get a milkshake IPA sour?
No, it's a milkshake sour. There's no IPA.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw IPA in there somewhere,
No.
but I can't remember having a milkshake sour before.
But it's,
Because it's milkshake code for, like, creamy mouthfall. I feel like that's pretty much all that it is. That's all that
like a
word
lactose
means. Yeah.
that creates, like, that frothiness.
And that's what I wanted from the sweet.
I think if you added a little more creamy to it, I think it's a 4 all day, honestly.
Yeah, because I love key lime pies. I love it. So Matt, I'm very happy to hear that because I have lemon meringues in my fridge for this afternoon.
I'll say if you're a pie lover, and if you like lemon meringue pie, and you have not picked up one of these, run.
There's a decent chance if we ever started a brewery, all I would ask is that we had a pie series, and I just pick different pies, and I'm like, we're doing a blueberry milkshake sour, and we're doing a pecan pie. I don't know how.
Pecan, wow.
You know what it would be? And I was thinking of this.
Butter tart beer.
I was drinking this on Friday because I bought 2. Drinking it on Friday, and I was like, you know, it'd be fantastic around like late November into December, an apple pie beer.
See, but stuff is you can't really have like. That's not creamy. So what you're gonna have is like I feel like that's just
you gotta be careful with that because
it's like Bud Light Apple.
I feel like you'd be going into cider country with that.
You would, and if you've had, there's a lot of ciders that taste it. But if you do, there's got to be a way that you could make it more like milkshakey and.
Hopefully, we can leave it to non-such or Vessel or Kilter because those two and a half because non-such is the same.
Anybody in the city that's listening. That works at a brewery. If you want to make an apple pie beer, I will review the crap out of that.
Yeah, accurately.
So so we'll round it up. Jordan had the TCB Guava County Series beer
for the Guava God.
Guava God, and God. He's a god.
I thought he was the god.
No, he's a god.
Can I be a gladiator who died and became a god?
Yes, sure. Whatever you want, man.
Are you not entertained?
What did you give that one again? 3.5.
3.5.
I have the Barnhammer Sweetie, the key lime pie sour. I gave it a 3 on Untapped. You can follow me at Pat Gagne. And Matt had the name was again?
Meringue-a-Tang.
The Meringue-a-Tang, and he gave it from Vessel a 4 on Untapped. You can follow him at Gagne Matt with 2 T's. And I guess that leaves us with going to the Winnipeg beer news of the week.
Thank you, Patrick. Coming to you live from 1.5 meters away from each of you. I am going to be reporting on the Winnipeg Beer News of the Week. Big news of the week this week is going to be an assorted 10-pack of Tall Boys from the, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, the Manitoba Beer Association?
Brewers Association.
Damn
very
it,
excited for this, folks. I'm very excited.
So this is going to be just a great collaboration of 10 different beers. I'm just going to read off the companies we're expecting to have in here. We got Brazen Hall, Farmery, Fort Garry, Half Pints, LBJ, Little Brown Jug that is, Non-Such, Oxus Brew. Is it Oxus? Oxus. OGC Brewing Company.
One Great City.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why that didn't go through my head. Sorry, One Great City. And Chance, I was like, who is OGC? Are they new? And then, of course, Manitoba Brew Works. So, on top of the fact
Winnipeg Brew Works, and you forgot one Half Pint.
Did you even do the research? Did you even do the research?
Shut up. Okay, listen. The point is, this is something that we should all be buying. Whether you've had the beers yet or not, the point is that this is going to be going to the association. We've had a great few months with beer purchases in the city, especially craft beer purchases, and we want to keep that going and showing that the Winnipeg beer scene is strong. So when you see this in your store, give it a buy. To be honest with you, this would be a great gift for like a favorite podcaster of yours or something like that. So if you're a big fan of the show, I think what you should do is like buy one, and then we'll all give out Pat's address, and you can just ship it to his place for us to pick it up.
That'd be a great idea.
That sounds good, Matt.
We're not gonna do that.
Matt, does that sound good? Okay, we'll put that. Yeah, we'll put Pat's address and telephone number out on the internet, and then you guys can just ship it. In all seriousness,
took a turn.
This is the beer news of the week. Give this pack a buy when you see it, and with that, we go back to our anchor Pat.
What a great report, even though he didn't do clearly any research. Big J journalist, my ass.
Reading is hard.
Yeah, well, we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, it's time we talk some wrestling. We're gonna do our weekly roundup of all the big shows. I'm excited for this one, boys. Hashtag we deserve better.
Oh, Michael, this is gonna be fun to watch.
And we are back. Crack it. Do it. Oh, what you got there?
This is literally called Juicy AF. I think that means juicy always forever.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely what it means. Yeah.
Not an explicit podcast.
No,
it means juicy as fuck. And it is going to be wonderful. I think, where's this one running out of? Vancouver.
Vancouver. Boombox. Shout out Vancouver.
Boombox. Big. That's a beatbox.
Oh,
we did this last week. Why?
Okay, well.
We'd sound so much better beatboxing on these mics, though.
Ready?
3 white guys in a basement.
Are you cracking one too, Matt? You cracking one too? What you got? What you got?
Oh,
what you got? Looks like a rebellion.
It is a rebellion. The Golden Crush from Rebellion.
Golden Crush? Is that like Crush's brother?
I hope not.
One day when we...
Unless there's Icapro
when we have to get out of Winnipeg beers, there's one beer from Rebellion that I just have locked and loaded to review. And the day will come, and it will be a glorious day.
I'm sure it'll be fun. Like, it rhymes with Saskatchewan. Fun.
That's true. Yeah.
So here we are, a little weekly wrestling roundup action for you. I guess we can start with WWE because it is the inferior product, in my opinion.
Very true.
Let's start with a little NXT. The only thing that
we're not going to start with WWE?
No, I'll start on a good note. Let's sandwich it. Good note, whatever, good note.
Yeah, it actually says most good essay writing.
Sandwich.
Second best, worst, best.
Yeah.
This is true.
So we'll start with NXT. My only thing with NXT this week is that they're setting up this ladder match. And we all said Finn Balor, as Jordan would call him.
Sure, it had to be him.
The Prince. The Prince Devitt. He was going to come out victorious, but no. Dexter Lumis.
We should have seen this coming. They've been pushing Dexter for 2 months.
I also think what they're doing here is they are sort of setting this up to be a highlight spot for their young guys. They're going to give a push to somebody, which I don't think is a bad idea.
The North American title is their transition title, right? Like, prove yourself with that. You're a young guy coming in.
How about Dexter Lumis doing that flip? Did not see that coming.
No.
That was sick.
Yeah. Strong rotation.
The guy, I feel like he's getting better in the ring every week that he's on the show.
I guess we kind of knew Thatcher. His style doesn't really lend itself. Like, what was he going to do? Put the ladder in an arm lock? Like,
I feel like Thatcher is
going to chop the ladder.
I feel like Triple H is still trying to figure out what to do with Thatcher.
Yeah, because he keeps getting put in with Oney Lorcan. And with all respect to Oney Lorcan.
Oney Lorcan is that guy. He's like a really good worker, and he's intense, and he can make anybody look good.
Yeah, he's a great tag team.
But you know what he is?
He'll be a solid tag.
He's wet bread. Just toss him on the floor and poke him. He doesn't do anything.
You know, speaking of Thatcher, you know what I'm missing right now?
What's up?
I haven't seen a good Walter match in a while.
Don't. Why'd you have to? I hadn't thought about Walter for a couple days.
You know what I learned about Walter? He has it. So he has Twitter.
And him and Thatcher were boys. They ran together for years.
Like, Walter has Twitter.
Yes.
And this is the most boring Twitter ever.
Well, buy his merch.
Matt, he follows one account.
Yes, he does.
On Twitter, and it's his favorite soccer team.
Yeah.
So like somebody was like he tweeted out something, and it was like, that's really inappropriate and insensitive to whatever was going on in the world. But he was just commenting on the soccer team because that's all he sees from his feed. That is the most Walter thing ever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Walter's character doesn't lend itself to being like a big Instagram star, I don't think. And half the time that he tweets, it's about his like ring comp merch.
Yeah. But like, so what's the?
I mean, I wouldn't mind a shirt from him.
Do we know what the next? I didn't see what the next matchup was. The next triple threat for next week was.
I got it. You guys go.
Yeah, check. Because I don't remember.
It wasn't as eye popping as this week's. Because you'll remember. I mean, all I know. One thing I remember about this week is my queen returned for 15 seconds with blonde hair. Basically, probably just to lose to Dakota Kai, so I'm a little pissed. Yeah,
Jordan, I'm not going to lie. I think you need to get off the Rhea Ripley bandwagon because I think she's going down.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened after WrestleMania they had a great match. Yeah. Did I not?
No, that was it should have skyrocketed her. She should have not lost to Charlotte. I'll say it again.
I don't understand.
I think she should have lost to Charlotte.
Why?
Well, the booking after's been shit then.
Yeah.
Well, the booking after's been awful, but I think she needed to lose and then turn heel. And I think it would have been good.
I just think she's cool. I don't think she needs to be heel or face. I think she just needs to be cool, and that's what she is.
Is this just like a Vince not knowing what to do with her thing? Because isn't Triple H not doing it anymore, or is he back doing it?
They've hired more writers for NXT. Like, Vince saw he's seeing the ratings numbers, I think, and he's like, we need to change everything.
They're not going to win.
Especially when it's AEW's flagship show, where they have all their talent. And NXT is more of like building up new talent.
And really, in the grand scheme of things, and I don't want to be that guy, but Raw and SmackDown don't get very good viewership, and they're still smoking.
Yeah.
Both those shows.
Yeah, because they're the only show in town that week, that night, right?
Exactly, but they're not splitting the audience. But I still feel like AEW wasn't dumb. Yeah. They're like, we're a similar product to NXT. We're not gonna. But anyways,
like Rhea's still on the front page of the NXT website, so like I just maybe. My hope, and I know I've said this to you guys, is like, just please put her in a program with Raquel Gonzalez. Like, we haven't seen Raquel in a bit. Like, just put her in something that keeps her, because I think she
really upsets me that you say Raquel.
That's her name. That's her name.
It's just Raquel.
I think it's Raquel.
I don't know. Who cares?
But anyway, so we'll move on to the next show.
Well, hold on, though. We didn't even talk about Angry Keith Lee.
I love Angry Keith Lee.
Isn't Angry Keith Lee just Keith Lee?
No.
Keith Lee is bask in my glory. Angry Keith Lee is, I'm going to destroy Karrion Kross. Those two boys are going to have a banger. I'm calling it now.
But who wins that match?
Karrion Kross, but by bullshit.
Yeah, it'll be a screwy finish.
Do you think the title gets changed?
Yeah, almost. Well, or they strap the rocket that's on Karrion Kross continues, and do you have a main roster guy run in, give Karrion a little sugar, and then off he goes?
There's got to be something. There's got to be. It can't just be a clean finish between the two of them. Something's got to happen, and it's got to build towards something.
This is really the first time.
Fuck, I got it. Sorry. That took me so long. Okay, so this is a weird one. And it's weird simply because,
in this one?
First of all, if this hind I add doesn't get out the top of my... There we go. Okay, so the triple threat is Damian Priest.
Yes, I knew this.
Oney Lorcan and Ridge Holland, who's the new British guy.
FYI, if Damian Priest does not win this match...
What are you doing there?
Like, who else would win that match?
Oney Lorcan, so he can, like...
hurt himself?
Yeah.
No,
it's got Ridge Holland's like the fact. Why is this the first thing the new guy's doing?
Well, it's got, you know what?
So he can lose and it's not a big deal.
Damian Priest gets into that ladder match. Damian Priest is going to be your North American champion.
And Oney's taking the pin. I am not a big Damian Priest guy. I don't think.
No, but I think he has all the. I think he has all the tools, and Loomis would be the next.
I think he thinks the microphone head goes upside down. That's how good he is on the mic.
He's a guy that he kind of needs a mouthpiece, I think.
Yeah, I think like he might poke himself with like the antenna on the bottom trying to talk.
But just going back to Karrion Kross and Keith Lee, in my recollection, this is really the first time where you've brought in another guy that you strap the rocket to at a point where you already had the rocket on a guy. NXT hasn't done that. They've always spaced it out pretty solidly or built the guy up. Karrion Kross is just so unique that they're like, we have to push him. But now they're in a bit of a... I think they're booking themselves into a bit of a corner.
They're totally...
Yeah, because this feels like a WrestleMania weekend matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that's not where we... Well, Summerslam. Yeah, okay,
that's your
maybe.
big TakeOver 30, man.
Maybe. Yeah,
okay.
that's
true, too. TakeOver 30.
Fair enough.
Didn't think of that.
Okay, so then we'll move on. We'll go to their Monday and Friday shows.
Okay, wake me up when this is over.
Okay, we'll just do the Friday because it's Bray Wyatt with the Alexa Bliss Mandible Claw incident.
Actually,
so
sorry,
good.
I'm going to come back in. I just saw this on Twitter. What happened? Because I was like looking at Twitter. I'm sorry.
She gets pushed over by Nikki Cross, I believe.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting in the ring, and then all of a sudden Bray Wyatt's in the ring, or sorry, the Fiend's in the ring. And he looks at her, and she's terrified. Great sell.
Are they going to make Nikki's sister Abigail?
I don't know. We need to get off the sister Abigail stuff because it's not a thing.
No,
okay, so are they going to make Nikki like something with Bray? Because that'd be sick.
I would not be surprised if they sort of started another like following of the Fiend.
Yeah.
And the multiple personalities of Bray Wyatt and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that became a thing. The way it was kind of explained, and Bray tweeted about the past and the future and controlling the past and the future. He just did that, I think, today. I think it's about the mind games with Braun Strowman, but I really like the Alexa Bliss.
Bringing Alexa Bliss in, it was kind of out of right field, and I kind of feel like it's the most important part now.
Yeah, it's becoming very important.
Yeah.
Sorry. So this goes back to the Braun mixed tag.
Yeah.
That was some entertaining shit.
And also, I think that she's going to play a part. She's going to cost Braun Strowman the title.
Oh, yeah, he's not winning SummerSlam.
Oh, no, the Fiend's winning. But I think it's going to be... It's not just going to be the Fiend clean. Mm-hmm. He's going to pin him clean, but I think it's going to be... Alexa Bliss is going to be involved, and there's going to be...
Okay, so let's just get over this WWE crap. Let's go to AEW. I'm over this. Let's go.
Can I just say one more thing?
Go ahead.
I think Big E, we talked about Big E last week. Big E getting a win over The Miz was like the perfect start to it.
Yeah.
The Miz is like a reputable guy. Yeah. I think next week he'll probably beat Morrison. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the next logical step. Yeah. And then you got to move him away from tag teams.
Yeah.
If he keeps beating individual tag team guys, you're never going to...
Oh, so I see. So basically this is a good start because it's like guys who know how to work, who Big E's probably worked with before.
Reputable.
But at some point... Okay, so who... Before we move on...
And he has a new submission finisher.
Does he?
Cool.
What is it?
It's called the stretch muffler or something.
Okay, who would you give to Big E for his first like true singles program?
SummerSlam. Let's go SummerSlam.
Yeah, so for SummerSlam, who is Big E wrestling?
Who's he wrestling at SummerSlam? If he wasn't in a tag team, I would have fed him Cesaro.
AJ, right?
No, because he's the Intercontinental champ.
No.
I don't think he
that's
can.
how much I don't watch. I didn't even know he was the champ.
I think they give him King Corbin.
But Corbin's in...
Isn't Corbin in the program right now with short guy who does German suplexes?
Sure. They're together, though, I think.
They're going to be together now.
But he's in a program with Riddle.
Yeah.
Biggie or Corbin? Oh,
Corbin. So I wouldn't be surprised. Sheamus just put the locker room on notice that he's coming after all of them.
Okay, that'd be Sheamus.
Sheamus against Big E.
But are we doing the tag team shit again?
But he's a singles now, so...
Yeah, okay, I guess, yeah.
I could see it being Sheamus.
And they know how to work.
And them having a banger. That would be a good match.
Okay. Pat, do you have an answer for that? You curious?
No, I don't care.
Go to AEW.
Pat's become me. Like, Pat's...
Look, because I have so many questions with AEW this week. It wasn't particularly a great night of AEW, but I have so many questions for
By the way, if you post that fucking girl in our group chat,
I will.
I'm going to kill you.
She's terrifying.
What's her name? Abandoned?
Don't even bring her up. If you say her name 3 times, you can show up in my basement.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say Abandoned again.
I got first question for you.
That's twice!
Uh-oh.
First question for you. They're doing this women's division tag tournament, which they're only putting on YouTube.
Dumb.
You mean the thing I fast forward through?
Dumb.
You know what? And you know what? It's not. They have a couple bright spots in their women's division, but they don't have enough talent to have a tournament.
WWE barely has enough talent to do tag team championships.
No, it's not championships.
They actually have their tag champs right now on both their champions.
Okay, no.
Yes!
But the thing with AEW is they're not doing like a tag team champion tournament. It's just a tournament in general. They're gonna
girls like pair up.
It's random.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It's like drawn. Yeah.
Do you think will come a time in wrestling, like WWE is so saturated, sorry to go back to it, where like one show has like, if you are on Smackdown, you're tag team wrestling. So like you are women's tag,
that would be that. I've always said that would be so smart.
Wouldn't that like
if Vince is around? Never. That's never happened.
Because I feel like there's not enough time to put all the shit on one show.
You put your title, your men's title, and your Intercontinental on one night.
And the U.S. You even give it a third, sure.
Sure, the U.S. And then you put your tag teams, men and women.
And mix. And you can even have a mix.
You can have a mix if you want. And then your women's title. So they showcase the show.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good point. That's a good point. Never mind the mix.
That would be ideal.
No, I agree with you. That's right. Like, and AEW doesn't have the talent to do that.
No.
To have a tournament.
No.
If you have to bring back Ariana, remember her? One of the Funkadactyls?
No, I don't remember her.
She sucked.
What did you just say to me?
And she came back and she's like with Nyla Rose, and it's like, this is stupid.
So they're doing all this to put over Brandy and Allie?
I don't think...
Like, what,
yeah, that's who's going to win.
What else are we doing?
Or
they're
doing this to put over Nyla Rose is going to be with, what's her name? Ariana or whatever. She's never going to tag her in. They're going to steam. Nyla Rose is going to she's going to win the whole thing herself, and then Ariana's going to be like, hey, you never tagged me in, and she's going to powerbomb her through the ring, and it's going to be awesome.
But even that, all of this for one person.
Oh, it's for sure for one person.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But, okay, and then my next question is, when is Cody just going to start wrestling AEW, guys?
Oh. Well, they signed Eddie Kingston.
I don't
They did, which, hey, sign Eddie Kingston, good for them.
I don't get Warhorse.
I didn't get it. I fast-forwarded through that match. I did not care.
Well,
Warhorse was, what is he?
He's a rocker.
Poor man's Judas Priest.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Guy's talented. Like, it was an okay match. It was a good match, whatever.
I was also confused by his gimmick. I didn't think he was a rocker. I thought it was like a tribute, or he had like some sort of I guess for the U.S. would it be Native American? I'm not sure what I'm not sure what they. Yeah, but like I thought that was the reference of the heritage, but it wasn't that at all. He's just like, isn't he just like an '80s metal bro guy?
They called him the Indie Darling. I've never heard of him.
I don't follow the Indies very closely, but I feel like if he was the Indie Darling, I would have heard of him.
Well, I mean, I guess we have two Not My Champions. Because I don't know what we're doing.
We'll get to that. And then Matt Cardona, who needs to change that name. Cardona, or whatever his name.
I love that guy's finisher.
I love,
Something about it's pretty dope.
You know who I love? Zack Ryder. I've always been a big Zack Ryder.
I think he signed a really short-term deal with AEW, 5 appearances or something like that, I read. I think he's in the right spot. I think he could be like TNT champion. I honestly think he could be that guy.
Yeah. He's jacked.
Cody's like slowly transitioning himself to a purely back role, eh?
I think in a few years he won't be.
Because he keeps letting guys go over, which is smart.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of riding off his.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the center for a little bit, just because he's that face and he's really reliable. Yeah. But I think he wants to be like his dad, be backstage and really mold talent. I think that's where he needs to be, and make an appearance, be an attraction every once in a while.
Yeah. Cody becoming his version of Vince is an ironic way for that to go.
It's kind of funny.
Okay, and then we'll move on. The Dark Order. First of all, Evil Uno sucks. Gotta go. I hate him.
I don't have an opinion on Evil Uno.
I like him as a mouthpiece. That's about it.
Even then, I don't like. But my question for you is, Brody Lee, Mr. Brody Lee, has been around for a couple months. Mm-hmm. Give him a grade right now, A to F. What would you grade him right now?
C+.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I said C+ too. He's just...
That's funny.
He hasn't done anything to wow me.
I don't think Brody Lee's ever going to be that guy. He's never going to be the champion.
I think what they're doing a good thing with the Dark Order right now, where they're losing. They just lose. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to get mad. Yeah. And I think the recruiting is what is going to become the Dark Order story. Mm-hmm. He's going to surround himself with guys that he's going to, like he's doing with Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana's like, I'm just hanging out.
Colt Cabana, boom, boom, Colt Cabana.
It's becoming...
I miss that.
And I hate this word, because it's just like a really, really like negative word, but it's super culty.
Oh, it's very culty.
That's what it is.
And I know that's the gimmick. I know it's gimmick. That's the gimmick, but it's something they would have never like alluded to on like WWE TV. And I love that AEW is like, no, this is a cult.
Yeah.
And I love that he's starting to now go grab guys, and they're like, we're just hanging out. Because if you watch any kind of cult documentary, it's just like, oh yeah, I just like hung out for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was in it. And you're like,
yeah. Like, I think that's what's going to happen with Boom Boom Colt Cabana, Boom Boom Colt Cabana.
I miss the music with Colt Cabana.
But, okay, move on to the main event of this week's Weekly Wrestling Roundup.
And we're not actually talking about the actual main event, because that was just meh.
MJF promo.
Oh, no, time out before we do that. Oh. Does anyone want to this week update the Kenny Omega shot clock?
Oh,
because I can't wait.
I think I'm going to be shotgunning a beer.
You are.
November is a long way away.
Because I think what they're aiming for is to combat SummerSlam, and I think they think Kenny and man,
why do you got to do that, Jordan?
And I love, you know what? And that's the thing. I'm a big Kenny fan. I just think him as a face right now isn't the run.
No.
And so I think Kenny Omega will live or die in North American wrestling on what he's about to do as a heel.
Yeah.
But he has to go, I think he has to go further than he has in Japan, because Japan heel is different than North American heel. And I think he has to go like off the hinges. It has to be like different promos. Like, you can be the cleaner, but you can't be the cleaner. I think it has to be
where he doesn't realize he's a heel, like in story.
That's good.
And he's like, I'm just doing what I think is right.
I'm just beating up fucking what's
Marco Stunt. And like, I think it's like
he
literally
Marco
loses
Stunt on this
his
podcast
mind.
again.
Like, he literally plays it up that he's lost his mind.
Dwarfs are people too.
It's not even about that. It's just the fact that he's the smallest person in the company, and people sell for him, and it pisses me off.
You know what? If he ever gets out of that stable, I mean.
Okay, so can we do this now? MJF promo. I think first of all, I'm in love.
Yeah, I told you, MJF's the best.
I've always loved MJF, but after this promo, he stood there and gave the promo of the year.
He checked his notes like a few times, and I don't blame him. Like, you saw him do a lot, but he also like, his speaking is stunning.
And he also knew, I think,
the importance of
what he was doing.
Yeah,
I think he knew like this.
If he messed that up, the MJF
talk about like gun to your head. Yeah. It's like he went out on a limb and he danced.
And you know what he is? He's becoming. You know, he's becoming the wrestling equivalent of Donald Trump, and that works right now, with the promos and how he speaks. And he's like, the hashtag "We Deserve Better." I was like, that is
it's a slight
brilliant.
dig. It's a slight dig at American politics. Yeah. It's like, we deserve better.
And also, like, he went out and like called out WWE a little bit.
But you know what? During his promo, he said he was explaining the reason why he was never on TV 2 weeks in a row. Do you think that was on purpose by AEW to lead up to this?
I think Cody responded on Twitter and said that Cody basically said that like the ratings are wildly inaccurate. But I think like Cody was doing it in kayfabe. Yeah, like he was.
I think they know what they have.
You can't look at MJF and not think that's about to be the highest paid man in wrestling. It's just
the small things that he did, like looking at the camera and going Jonathan when he's talking about Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
like just to say that is like it's almost disrespectful.
Some of the things I think what makes a great promo sometimes, long form promo, is a casual fan can understand it and a deep fan can get the references. Yes. I think that's what we liked about the Bray Wyatt John Cena match at WrestleMania.
Yes, there was a lot of nuances to it.
And his had so much, like, I can't even think of all of them, but there were multiple times it was like, oh, like every second sentence I was like, oh shit, that's a dig, that's a dig. Like, yeah, it
wasn't on the level of CM Punk Pipe Bomb, but it was up there.
CM Punk Pipe Bomb had a different feel to it.
CM Punk Pipe Bomb was very real. This was MJF playing MJF.
And also this was wrestling.
Yeah.
The Pipe Bomb wasn't as wrestling.
And
it broke that wall.
The podium with his colors on it, the backdrop with his logo, and just the way he presented himself.
When you first came out, were you guys like, why is the podium facing the wrong way? Like, the podium on the stage was facing sideways, and I was like, oh, that's a rough start. Like, what is he gonna like talk to the entranceway? But
apparently EC3 had done a similar promo in TNA, but like nobody watches TNA, so who cares? But like people are comparing him. Like, you can't even compare the promos. This is so different. This is
especially with the political climate in the United States and the reference he did to that. I mean,
this is what you're gonna look at in about 5 years, and you're gonna be like, this is his Austin 316 moment.
I hope so.
I think so. I think that he had a rocket strapped to him already. Now he has two.
Mm-hmm. Is MJF going to be the Rock? Like, where he... No, but I'm saying in terms of, like, he's so good at promos, at being a heel promo, that, like, I'm a huge fan of his, and I know he's a heel.
Yeah.
But he's so talented, you almost, like... It's like how Austin was supposed to be a heel, but some people are just too good at...
I think eventually he'll become a face, in quotes, but the character won't really change.
No, I think he's just going to be MJF for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And you know what? If he can stay being like a legitimate heel when the crowds come back, but it's like a booing where you're smiling, like you're booing, but you're like,
because I know I should be booing.
I'm watching a special talent.
Yeah.
And I'm booing him. It's almost like wrestling's so woke nowadays that like you're booing him and you're in on the joke, and you don't even want to cheer to how people would, they knew they were supposed to cheer John Cena, so they booed him, right? Yeah. But it's almost like, MJF, you're supposed to boo him. You like him and you want to cheer him, but you respect him so much as who he is that you boo him. And that's like, I think nowadays, like the pinnacle of what you can do in wrestling.
Let's end on this question though.
These live podcasts are going to be long.
This is a long one.
Just real quick,
It's
though.
okay, I'll do some cuts, but we're going good. It's a good speed.
Is MJF the AEW champion at all in?
I don't even think they give him the title shot.
You don't think so?
No, I think this becomes like some sort of storyline where he believes he's being done wrong, and he isn't giving the shots that he's given, and then they give him like some match, and he almost forfeits it. Like he's holding on to that undefeated streak, and at a certain point he'll just
End it there, because that is the best idea.
That's a good idea.
For this
and
whole...
I think like
just go on strike.
Moxley
MJF on strike.
Oh, that's a Moxley doesn't interest me at all.
Cut it.
Like he really doesn't. So
He interests me, but I think there's a lot more layers
Moxley
to go with MJF. Yeah. Until we get to that world title.
I don't know if we'll ever find.
But again, we'll put it on lock there because we're sorry. This is gonna be a long episode, but we're very excited. We're in the same room, guys.
Yeah.
So drink it in.
This is so much fun.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're gonna do our retro pay-per-view review of SummerSlam 1989, baby, because Dusty Rhodes is on the card and he's hilarious.
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
And we're back for the main event of the podcast. We go back in time when Look Who's Talking was in theaters, The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones was #1 in the box office, and Dead Poets Society was a movie.
I don't know what's.
That's a movie about dead poets, I think.
Oh
No, it's not.
Wouldn't that be Ghostbusters? Since Dead Poets.
Oh, I mean, who are you gonna call?
Oh.
Ghostbusters!
So,
the female Ghostbusters.
oof, no one saw that. That was bad, apparently.
Was it bad?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we are going
damn it,
to
Leslie Jones.
SummerSlam 1989, a year before Pat was born, about 10 years before Jordan was born.
Seriously.
And at this time, Matt was just starting high school. Can you believe it?
I don't think my dad was even
I was
considering having a kid at that point.
You weren't even a sperm in his bag.
Maybe. It's
Wow.
hard to say.
All right.
Yeah, I went there. Sorry, guys.
Talking about Bill's bag this week. Let's go to the Bill's bag.
Beanbag!
So anyway, SummerSlam 1989, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it to my beautiful brother to dial it up, dumbass.
Oh, that's a good open.
All right. Oh, that smells real good.
Sorry about that, Mr. Gagne. He didn't mean it.
That smells real good. Anyways, SummerSlam
That is
1989.
Oh, that's the beer that Kyle has sitting in his fridge for me.
Shout out, Kyle.
I mean, Kyle doesn't listen, so whatever, Kyle. Shout out Paul for listening.
This is.
Don't say how good it is. I have to go get it.
It's real good.
Fudge.
Can you dial it up, please, dumbass?
Yes. So SummerSlam 1989.
SummerSlam.
He's not going to say this right.
The second SummerSlam in the chronological order of the SummerSlams, because they started in '88. This was on Monday, August.
Monday?
Yeah, they put them on Mondays back then.
What?
Monday, August 28th, 1989. Confirm that.
I'm not. I'm just. That's a lot of scrolling.
In, get this, ladies and gentlemen, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Okay, you nailed it. You nailed it. Good
I
job.
nailed it.
Okay, and you said it was Monday?
Yeah, I think so.
He's right. Monday, August 28th.
At the Meadowlands Arena there in East Rutherford, there was 20,000 fans.
20,000 even.
Exactly
20,000.
20,000.
Perfect 20,000.
Perfect amount.
I believe it.
They capped it at 20,000 fans.
Yes, they did.
But
20,001 want to come in? No.
No.
At the door, please.
Kick in the chest.
More importantly, they did 625,000 pay-per-view buys on this pay-per-view.
That's a lot.
On a Monday night?
Do you know the next time WWE or WWF went over 600,000 buys on a pay-per-view?
Tell me.
WrestleMania 14, way back to our first episode.
Wow.
WrestleMania 14, 1998.
Wow.
Was the
I
next
was
time they
about
did
to
that.
ask why they would go up against Monday Night Football and very quickly remembered that's 1 week before it.
Yeah.
But I was like, the first thought was like, that's dumb. But 625 is pretty good. Probably for like a $9.99
Well, and then we jump.
Oh, I bet you they were charging $20.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh, it's probably for sure.
Remember those days?
Yeah, I miss those days. Yeah, but so we jump right in, and the first thing you hear is Tony Schiavone's voice.
Really?
First WWE pay-per-view that Gorilla Monsoon did not
Yeah,
call.
it was Tony Schiavone, and then the voice was followed up by the body, Jesse Ventura.
Interesting.
And
What?
did you see in the intro who jumped in the pool?
Who?
Shane and Stephanie.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't even know. I skipped through
Were
that.
they
because
kids? Was that kind of the point?
Yeah,
It was
they were
like
like
it
younger.
was Summer's biggest party, right? And it was just like it was so 80s. It was super 80s.
I
intro.
loved every minute
Oh
of it.
man, the music but like, hey, Jesse Ventura and Tony Schiavone, Not bad.
They did a good job.
They were surprisingly good. Underrated.
Yeah.
They kick off the show like they always did back in those days with an absolute banger tag team match. The Hart Foundation, greatest tag team of all time, against the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, who are champions in a, believe it or not, a non-title match.
Because the contract was signed before the Brainbusters won the championships, therefore it was deemed a non-title. It's super dumb.
Did Bobby the Brain Heenan explain that?
No, he was. I think he was almost in every match. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah, he's on here a lot.
He worked hard tonight.
So there was like there was absolutely, you put Bret Hart, Tully Blanchard, and Arn Anderson in a match. There's no way this is a bad match. Doesn't even matter who the fourth person is.
But it was a bad match.
No, what the?
Oh, boy.
You bite your tongue.
It wasn't very good.
Oh no.
You're dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is.
So
I feel like Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad when I'm like looking back.
They
and
kept
forth.
Anvil out of the match to start because that's the right call. You have Brett in the match with Tully and Arn, and it was back and forth action. Everything was going great, and also it has Arn Anderson always been bald.
He was born bald.
The man has never had hair.
No, never.
And he's always had like a thin hair on his
Arn Anderson has essentially looked the same his entire life.
Hey, shout out Arn Anderson for looking great all the time.
I mean, he's grown a little bit.
He's a little
How
hefty
long
now.
until we get an Arn and Tully thing in AEW?
Soon. Coming.
Was this like, okay, now I know Arn was in the Four Horsemen, but was this like his other long time thing?
No, him and Tully were both
Tully
in the Four
Tully was in the fourth.
Really?
Yeah, original, yeah.
Because it was what? Sorry, Flair, Arn. Those are the only two I really know.
Flair, Arn, Tully, Wyndham.
Wyndham and J.J. Dillon was their mouthpiece.
Okay, yeah, I had no clue
Which
who
you
the
didn't
other
need.
guys were.
Ric Flair needed a mouthpiece?
This was an absolute tag team clinic. Bobby Heenan, first appearance of the night, always on point, always involved in the match, was great.
I thought it was a little sloppy.
Because you're sloppy.
Yeah, you're sloppy.
Not yet.
Dave Meltzer gave this 2 out of 5 because Dave Meltzer is wrong. Matt, what did you give it?
2.5.
You gave it a 2.5. Pat Gagne, the EST of Triple B, gave it a 3.3 out of 5.
A 3.3?
Yes, we're going 3.3 today.
Why are you going so specific?
3.3. It was a 3.3 match.
That upsets me. That doesn't help me.
The finish literally sucked.
No, it didn't. It was
dumb.
As opposed to not literally sucking?
Yes, it was not literally sucking.
Did someone suck on something? Like, how do you explain that?
I'm going to ask you a question. And I thought of this question at the beginning of, like, during this match, first match on the pay-per-view. Did house show business? So, for those of you who maybe didn't follow wrestling in the 80s or don't understand, like, the history of that, in the 80s, the idea was your pay-per-views and your angles on TV were to sell house shows. You made your money off of house shows back in those days. So you'd put these angles on pay-per-view and these angles, and they weren't blow-offs like they are now, where it's like it finishes. It starts it or keeps it going, and then people pay money to go to the house shows when they do all these, because they were working like 300 days a year.
They did it a lot like music, right?
Yeah.
Like, you released an album, and you paid to go to the concert.
Monday to Friday house shows, and then 2 on Saturdays.
Yeah. Craziness.
That's a fucking insane schedule.
You wonder why they're all addicted to painkillers.
Yeah, no shit.
And that's what I mean. This match, I felt like should have been better, but did the house show loop hurt this match?
No. Because it was a great match. I don't want to hear about this house show crap. It was a great match. It was a 3.3
Well,
match.
this is why they say with modern wrestling, when they're like, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this up in AEW. Well, fuck, they're only doing it once a week. You know, like...
Exactly.
Yeah, they should be able to do it a long time.
And then, so we'll move on, and now we get...
Unless Darby gets hit in the head again.
We get Dusty Rhodes doing a promo.
The honky tonk man.
Dusty Rhodes. And friend of the show, Honky Tonk Man.
The honky tonk man.
You know what? I wrote down, I don't get Dusty's gimmick, and I don't even care because it's awesome.
He's the common man. He's the common man.
The common man with a polka dot, and he had the police hat, and he had the baton. And he's the son of a plumber.
Cody's list was a real chip off the old block.
The son of a plumber,
Yeah,
Dusty Rhodes. So they have a match.
There is no Ica Pro in this match, FYI.
No, all these guys, none of them worked out.
There is no Ica Pro.
And you know what? I realized Honky Tonk Man, friend of the show. We had a nice long talk with him back in the day. Honky Tonk Man's not a very good wrestler.
So I wrote down what did I just watch.
Guys, we want to have him as a guest one day, so if we could
But he's the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, could we not bury the Honky Tonk Man?
Shout out to Wayne.
Wayne.
What did I just watch was what I wrote down when I... This was not a good match.
Are you making reference to Dusty Rhodes' weird thing on his stomach? Yeah. This weird sore on his stomach.
Okay, I was gonna ask. Like,
it was huge. It was like
I think it's a birthmark
right here.
Stop showing me your actual stomach, Patrick. Put your shirt down.
I think that's a birthmark.
Cease and desist.
And
it's not.
It couldn't be.
There was no story. They just did a bunch of moves.
And a lot of rest holds. There's lots of rest holds.
Lots of wrest holds, and this wasn't a long match. It was only like...
And I love watching Dusty
Matt's favorite match with all those wrest holds.
Because Dusty Rhodes, he's blading his forehead a lot. He did a lot. But he had blade marks on his shoulders. Like,
fucking Cody, chip off the old block.
So, this match ends with an accidental chair shot to Honky Tonk Man from...
No, guitar shot.
Guitar shot, what did I say?
Chair.
So you know what a chair shot sounds like?
Boom.
Oh, it does actually sound like that. That's so sick.
He gets hit by Jimmy, the Mouth of the South. Jimmy's Mouth of the South, yeah.
No,
Hart.
Jimmy Hart, right?
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
I was like, no.
I was just gearing up to do my Dusty Rhodes.
Jimmy, the last name, Mouth of the South.
so Dusty Rhodes win this match, and Dave Meltzer gives it a -2 out of 5 because Dave Meltzer hates Dusty Rhodes. What'd you give it, Matt?
I give it a -1 because it was awful.
Pat Gagne gave it a 1.1 out of 5.
Dusty Rhodes sounds
1.1.
1.1. It's a 1.5. 1.1 match.
You sound like you're selling something at an auction. give me the 1 and the 1 and the 2, and then give me the 2 now, the 2 to 1.
If you don't like the Dusty Rhodes, actually, we can do this later. Dusty Rhodes.
He's like Forrest Gump meets. That's like every stereotypical like overcoming story in American movies is what you sound like.
Because he's son of a plumber.
I've wine and dine kings and queens, and I have
slum and dine on poking beans.
Okay, I actually, we're gonna need this to be a regular part. I've been entertained as fuck. I didn't know you had this in the chamber.
I love
that's a golden bullet, Dusty Rhodes.
I should do a whole episode of Dusty Rhodes.
You should not.
I will edit you out of the whole thing. Well, your mic won't be on.
The next part of this, before we get to the third match, is a Hall of Fame promo from Demolition and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, great!
Picture a train wreck, and then. You would prefer to watch train wreck.
What would Dusty Rhodes say about that?
It was no good, brother. Look, baby. It was not good.
Look, baby. You guys got to learn how to talk on a microphone. Stop yelling.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan liked to yell. He is not the son of a plumber. So thank God we got past that. And then we went to Mr. Perfect. At this time had a winning streak, undefeated streak.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
Yeah, he went up against the
a perfect streak. Some might say.
God, I can't believe I have to watch a match with Terry Taylor in it. The Red Rooster. Red Rooster.
You can't tell, but we are both jerking
Terry
our heads.
Taylor is a tough one because if you listen to all the stories, Terry Taylor was a very good territory guy.
Yeah, he's a great territory.
He's a great worker. In this match, he goes shot for shot with Mr. Perfect. But he has no personality.
He's a trainer at NXT right now.
Yeah, he has no personality. Yeah. He's not the guy that you go for promo work. He was a Red Rooster, for Christ's sake.
But this match, unfortunately, goes short because Terry Taylor gets hurt. So it goes like 3 minutes. He gets hurt on a leapfrog. He jams his knee. So.
But you know what, though? This whole match, it felt very AWA.
Yeah.
It wasn't like... It didn't feel like a WWF match at this time.
Honestly, this match... in 3 minutes was better than the match before.
Yeah, it was. And that's Mr. Perfect all the way through. The Perfect Plex. Do you not love the Perfect Plex?
It was such a simple... It was a suplex. The fisherman suplex, but he was... You're like, he locked his hands. You're not kicking out. They built that finisher up huge.
You don't see a lot of moves like that anymore, eh? Like a finisher that's like a suplex and a hard grapple pin.
Yeah.
I think Darby has like a pinning finisher he does. But beyond that...
You know who would love the Perfect Plex? Dusty Rhodes.
God, that's not going to stop. No!
So then we move on to the next match, which I'm going to let
Wait, you didn't rate the match.
Oh, I didn't rate it? Oh, Dave Meltzer gave it 1.5. Matt, what did you give it?
I gave it 0.5.
Pat Gagne gave it 1.4.
What did Dustin Rhodes give it?
Dustin Rhodes?
Yeah.
He gave it 1.4.
Oh, sorry.
What did
Dusty Rhodes
Dusty Rhodes gave it 1.4 out of 5, ladies and gentlemen.
1.4, baby.
Yeah, so 1.4 out of 5 for me. So... next match, there was a promo. I don't really care for the promo, so we're just going to skip it.
Yeah, skip it.
We have the next match, which is the Rockers, the most overrated tag team in the history of WWF.
False.
With Tito Santana, or as Jesse the Body calls him, which doesn't age well, Chico Santana. He said that, and nobody's like, you know what,
Jesse the Body Ventura is like kind of a sketchy character.
Yeah, he's super.
I know, right?
He was probably like. He probably believes that whole 9/11 conspiracy theory stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
he had a show about conspiracy theories.
So,
yes, he was also the governor of a state, and he sued the American Sniper guy, Chris Kyle.
Yeah. And he also sued Vince McMahon.
Yeah. And then they were up against the fabulous Rougeaus. Ugh. Against...
Oh, is this another Canadian stereotype?
They're just French.
Oh, yeah, fuck them then.
Yeah. Whoa. Watch.
Wait, like French or Quebec French?
Quebec French.
Oh, never mind. They're, great people.
And they're teamed up with another great Frenchman in WWF who is wildly underused, Rick Martel.
The model Martel.
I don't think he was the model.
Yeah, I don't think he was the model.
He was underused?
But...
Yeah, he's a great talent.
I just got to give a shout out to Tito Santana. He was on the first 9 WrestleManias. And he was actually the king of the ring in 1989. He beat Rick Martel in the final.
Yeah. Wasn't he a Dark Side guy?
He was... No, he refused to be interviewed for Dark Side.
Rick Martel?
Rick Martel has been out of wrestling and he wants nothing to do with it.
Can I put this in the hopper for a future thing? Top 5 people who should be Dark Sides. I feel like we should do that.
We should.
Yeah, write that down.
So this match,
Matt, write it down.
Matt, I think we have our first
Pat, can you give us a sec? Matt's gonna write it down.
Matt's gonna write it down.
I'm writing it down.
Would you like me to kill some time with Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, can you kill some time? Matt's writing it down. Well, I don't want to overload Matt by having to listen and write.
Okay, continue.
This match right here is definitely sponsored by ICAPRO. All these guys are jacked to the max.
Not the Rougeaus.
Not the Rougeaus. They're soft. But and I don't want to talk about the Rougeaus. I hate Jacques Rougeau. He's the worst talent ever to get over in WWE.
Do you know who, though, is a star? And you see it already in 89. The guy just...
Michaels?
Holy smoke.
Right?
He comes into the ring like a house on fire.
Yeah.
The firefighters better get there because he's going to burn it to the ground.
The two best talents in this match are Michaels and Martel. I think Rick Martel... The only reason Rick Martel didn't get over as a bigger talent in WWF... His age, and I think the language barrier.
Oh, yeah. He needed a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But they never gave him one.
Was Bobby Heenan or Jimmy Hart busy?
No, yeah, all night.
All night.
literally all night.
You couldn't find one guy.
And the match was fine. It was one of those 6-man tags. I think it was a nice story because Martel was avoiding Tito the whole match.
The heel work was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was solid. So much so that Meltzer gave it 3.25 out of 5.
Yep.
What did you give it?
3.
I didn't give it that high. I gave it a 1.8.
What? Okay, what the fuck is going on?
I'm not gonna lie. I've watched a lot of Portnoy.
Yes, I knew it.
Everybody knows the rules, and I'm just go.
You know what, Matt? If you don't stick with the 0.5.0s going forward, if you want to put some weird ass numbers in there, knock yourself out.
Everyone listening, I'm going to continue to just rate with normal ratings.
Well, next up is probably the best thing on the card. I would say is the Ultimate Warrior promo. Matt, what the fuck did the Ultimate Warrior say?
So here's what I wrote. Ultimate Warrior comes on the screen, and I'm like, I instantly wrote ICAPRO there was a lot of ICAPRO.
Oh, man.
And then he starts talking, and I put WTF is the Warrior talking about.
I can't even. I was gonna write it down and say it on the podcast, but I couldn't follow it. I have no idea what the hell.
I am gonna jump on top of the mountain, and then the mountain will collapse, and Rick Rude will be under the mountain, and I will come out victorious.
And I will use the power of the Warriors to take down Rick Martel and all that he holds. I'm like, what the hell?
Rick Martel? Hold on, Rick Martel.
Oh, sorry, Rick Rude. Sorry. Yeah,
fucking Rick.
All I gotta say is this is for the Intercontinental title. Rick Rude is the champion.
He works his butt off.
But the more I watch the Warrior, the more that we do these retro reviews, the Warrior sucks in the ring.
You know what?
How is he over then?
The look,
the presentation,
energy, everything.
But you know what he's not terrible at is his offense. If he's
punching and kicks are pretty easy.
Punching, kicking, tackles. Basically, if he's on the offensive, he's okay. The minute the Warrior has to sell, it's just a train wreck.
And also in this match...
Does that not scream a guy who doesn't get it, though?
He doesn't. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I feel like if you can't sell in wrestling, you don't get it.
And this is how... And this is definitely something the ref was like, what are you doing? They're outside the ring. This is early in the match. He grabs the belt from the timekeeper and hits Rick Rude. And there's no DQ. Because I'm sure the ref was standing in the ring going, fuck.
Because the ref's suddenly like, oh, look, a bird. Like, he's just like trying.
And Jesse Ventura was like, that's a DQ, and Tony Schiavone was like, it was on the outside, it doesn't count. Okay, Tony, now you're just lying.
Well, Tony's just doing the best he fucking can.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was making chicken salad out of chicken.
There was very little wrestling in this match. There was a lot of wrestles, lots of punching, lots of kicks, lots of...
Rude kept slowing it down because the Warrior just wants to go a million miles an hour.
Again, Meltzer gave this 3.25 out of 5.
I thought it was a good match, though.
What'd you give it?
Can I ask a question? What? Is Meltzer doing this in the moment or retroactively?
Retroactively. He watches it again after.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay.
So you give it a 3?
It was a good match.
So Warrior wins and wins back the
I think it's more damning retroactively, isn't it?
Like, I watched this. I gave it a 0.2 out of 5.
Not even, like, you didn't even give Rick Rude some love?
No, I couldn't. Warrior was so bad.
I thought there was enough story and Rick Rude did a good enough job that...
Is Warrior a dark side guy?
No,
because
he's done so much with him.
And
Lyle.
I don't think there was a lot of like dark side-ish stuff with him.
Okay.
Next match.
Hold on, talk about the intermission. The interviews are hilarious. So it's clearly an intermission because there's like 6 interviews in a row, and I wrote down cocaine ?
Oh yeah, lots of coke.
Because these guys just everybody's revved up to the max.
So you're not talking about the second name of our podcast?
No.
We may have to change the second name of our podcast.
They do go over the main event build.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it is good storytelling. But the next match...
This was supposed to be John Studd instead of Duggan, by the way.
Whatever. It was Hacksaw and Demolition against the Big Boss Man, Hakeem the African Dream.
The Twin Towers, baby.
And Andre the Giant. Oh, there's lots to unpack. And nothing in the matches.
They came in at a combined weight of 1,200 pounds.
So, Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, I'm trying to understand his gimmick. He's either super patriotic or he's consistently tripping on acid. Like, he's just yelling, "Ho!" Like, I don't know.
And he's wearing one of the... he's wearing a demolition mask. And the ref makes him take it off. And they take it off to the camera, and he's got, like, the American flag painted on his face.
There's a lot, like, and Andre is clearly in pain the whole time.
Yeah,
he's always
him
on the
walking
ropes.
is the
It was
scariest
sad.
thing.
It was sad.
Was this, like...
It was getting near the end.
Close to the end of the days.
Yeah, and, like...
Barry Darso, though?
Yeah.
He slammed Andre the Giant. He summoned him better than Hogan did at WrestleMania 3.
So, another thing...
Who's Barry Darso?
I think he's Smash.
He's one of the guys in Demolition.
He becomes the Repo Man.
Repo Man!
I know... Matt, did Demolition have... Were they covered in glitter?
Always.
That's weird.
Super weird.
And my last question...
Okay, was Demolition just like a cross between...
They were the Legion of Doom ripoff.
They were Legion of Doom, but
Kiss.
SMS 6.
Yeah.
Sex.
S&M.
S&M, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. I was going to say with like Kiss.
So the last,
Kiss, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to go over the match because the match was whatever. But Matt, my last question for you is...
Pat's already laughing.
Who stole Hakeem's bum? He doesn't have a bum.
He's an enormous human being.
Oh, you gotta look at pictures.
He's an enormous human, but he has
looks like 2 pieces of bologna.
Oh man, it's not good.
And he's Hakeem, the African Dream.
And he was one-man gang before.
Yeah.
And then
wasn't. Matt Meltzer gave it 1. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 1.5. I didn't mind the match.
I gave it a 0.1.
That was worse than Ultimate Warrior Rick Rude.
It's just because his bum. Where does his bum go?
I thought the 2x4 finish was like about as 80s as you could get, though.
No, you know what could be 80s and one of the most iconic things in wrestling, if you think about it? Ted DiBiase's laugh.
You skipped a match.
Did I? Hold on, I'm not there
Big
yet.
Valentine.
No, he did a promo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's not as good as my Dusty Rhodes. It's because the next match...
You just have to forget vowels when you're doing Dusty Rhodes.
This next match, I have no idea what was going on. I didn't even look it up.
Concept.
It was Hercules against Greg the Hammer Valentine. And Ronnie Garvin is the ring announcer.
With his French accent.
Yeah, Ronnie Garvin. Was he still wrestling? Was this a storyline?
He had lost a...
Career match
to Valentine, I think.
Okay. Because he comes out and he just chirps Valentine the whole time.
So funny.
Yeah, he claims to be this tall. He claims to be from here. It was pretty funny. The match itself made no sense. I didn't care.
The match itself was awful.
Like, I feel like they were trying to make this Garvin and Valentine thing a big deal, but I just didn't care.
No.
And Yeah, so
Finish was dumb.
Valentine actually wins.
But then they announced that Hercules wins.
No, Garvin announces that Hercules wins.
That's right.
And Meltzer gave it 1.5 out of 5.
I can't believe that he gave... No, he gives it 0.5.
Oh, 0.5, sorry.
0.5.
Okay. What did you give
I can't believe he gave 0.5.
What did you give it?
It was a DQ... No, it wasn't a DQ finish.
No, he won.
Yeah, he won with his feet on the ropes. I gave it a 0.
Cheating bastard.
It was awful.
Do you know what I gave him, man?
0.025?
No, I gave it negative 1.2.
Oh my god. Were you drunk when you were watching this?
I was buzzing.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. I was like, okay, this sounds familiar.
So if you were buzzing, the next thing must have just popped you. The Cauldron promo.
I don't know what that was.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to watch one thing this week, don't go watch a wrestling match. Watch the Cauldron promo that Sherry Martel, Randy Savage, and Zeus give. It is about as campy eatings.
I hope that fart doesn't get caught up.
I was trying to be quiet.
I was trying to power through it, but
I thought it was going to be silent.
But the Cauldron promo, look it up. It's awesome. It's awesomely bad.
Yeah. And then they followed up. This is the match. The second last match was Ted DiBiase. He's great against Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who is, for all accounts, I'm sorry.
Disavow.
Are we disavowing that? Okay.
We're going to disavow.
We're going to disavow that one. Okay.
I'm just making sure we stay above board.
Okay.
We're disavowing Snuka.
Can I just say that some of these guys are just huge? Jimmy Snuka ate cocaine and Icapro for lunch every day.
Every day.
Every day. He is blowing out of his body. His biceps are so big.
His mystique is obviously before my time. Like, he was...
I don't get Jimmy.
It's took a hit now.
I don't get it.
And even before that, I just never really got him.
Yeah.
Do you... Okay, I mean,
I'm too young to remember the
I
dive off the cage and stuff like that.
I would say, like, let's say it's like a time before the internet, right? I think Jimmy Snuka's like foreign to the audience he's looking at. He's mysterious. Yeah. I think like now we'd look at his gimmick and be like, "What are you, like Samoan?" Like we know what's like we have a decent idea of who Samoans are.
Think in your head, like he had
from the island of Fiji, actually.
It's like you know what,
like a really long career. But can you name any other moment for Jimmy Snuka other than him jumping off the cage in Madison Square Garden?
Yes. There was a hotel room.
Okay,
yeah, no, sorry, for sure, jumping off
# Dark Side of the Ring.
Jumping off the cage.
You know who's not overrated though? Ted DiBiase, probably one of the best heels of all time.
How mad do you think DiBiase was though? Because he is such a good worker and such a good heel. How mad do you think he was when Snuka botched a leapfrog?
Guys, I didn't know he was this like. Okay, I thought Ted DiBiase was just like, you know, certain guys in wrestling you just kind of know.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ted DiBiase was like this good. Like, it seemed like from how you guys have been talking our first 10 episodes, he carried shit. Like, he was a guy who got shit
He's a great worker. Like, he came in and they were like, Vince was like, I'm going to sign you, and I have a gimmick specifically for you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until you sign with me. And it was the $1 million.
He became Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
The gimmick was like a parody of Vince McMahon.
You know what, like, it's funny because I'll be honest, like, at first, I just never really thought he was anything special in wrestling, and you guys have, like, totally changed my mind.
There are not a lot, if any, bad Ted DiBiase matches.
That's fantastic. Like, what
even this isn't a good match, but you watch Ted DiBiase, you're like, oh, the guy is working so hard to make this 100 times better than it should be.
The match ends in a countout. Ted DiBiase wins. Meltzer gives it 1.5 out of 5. Matt, what did you give it?
I give it 0.5 out of 5.
I give it a 1.1 out of 5.
1.1?
Yeah.
Oh, at least it's not in the negatives. That's a big plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the main event. The promo. I'm going to talk about the promo. I want to talk about the promo. Let me go.
Someone lead in and tell me what the promo is. Okay. Get this back on the rails. What's the promo?
It's Hulk Hogan, single bicep flexing with his back to the camera, with Brutus the Barber Beefcake slamming his scissors together in the background, and they do a promo. As I age, as I get older, and I watch Hulk Hogan was the tits.
Hold on. Disavow.
Yeah. When I
could say that.
I love Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was like my childhood.
You watch wrestling in that era. Yeah. Fuck. I mean, yeah.
But the more he becomes, his promos in particular become less and less impressive.
What do you mean, brother?
Because he doesn't see any. He
the same thing over and over again.
He talks about taking his Harley and like
driving it, but turning off the bridge. I'm like, you can't turn off a bridge, but it was just not all I gotta say
good.
is
it was all about getting himself over. There was never anything about the match.
I think it's important that we all say it is important that in your life you get someone that looks at you like Brutus Beefcake looks at Hulk Hogan.
Oh man,
because Brutus knows he would not be anything without his buddy Hulk Hogan. They were best friends, and Brutus the Barber Beefcakes, for all intents and purposes, sucks.
But his pop on this show is
huge.
crazy.
It's huge pop. And my favorite Brutus story, Matt, we went to Cowboys for a show, and Brutus Beefcake was there, and he was the big get that they had for the show. And after, you can go in the ring, and what do we pay for a Polaroid?
$10.
$10.
My dad was like, let's go get a picture with Brutus
so the ring, and Brutus Beefcake has the shears, and he goes, and he's like, hey, he looks at me, he's like, hey, you want me to put the shears next to your head? I'm like, sure.
Beefcake's in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. So he puts the shears next to my head, Jordan.
Why?
Can I tell my story?
Sorry.
Puts the shears next to my head, and he's like, "Okay, take the picture." Takes the picture. As the picture's being taken, closes the shears and cuts some of my hair off.
And he goes, so funny.
And he goes, "Ha, gotcha." I'm like, "You fucking idiot!"
I thought you were gonna say something like a lot worse. So I'm actually kind of.
But how is he in the Hall of Fame? Because he's buddies with Hulk Hogan. Why was he in the WWF? Because he's buddies with Hulk Hogan. Why was he in WCW? Because he was buddies with Hulk Hogan.
This is why I'm on this podcast. I'm riding your coattails. Both of you.
As long as you know.
Yes.
Which brings us to the main event, which is Macho Man Randy Savage with Scary Sherry.
And the human wrecking machine, Zeus.
Who we'll get to in a second, against
Hulk. I didn't know this was Zeus.
Against Hulk Hogan and Bruce the Barber Beefcake, who they bring out.
Demo from Friday.
So let's just paint a picture for Zeus here. So Zeus, okay, so everybody buckle up if you've never heard this story. Zeus, the human wrecking machine, was a character in Hulk Hogan's movie No Holds Barred.
I forgot this is who Zeus was.
Which, by the way, the budget is estimated at about $8 million. Do you know how much money that movie made? $16 million.
Yeah.
16?
They doubled their budget.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were.
So anyway, so Zeus is a character in the movie that Hulk Hogan's character is battling against. And then what happens is the movie ends, the movie premieres, and then Hulk Hogan, who is a real person, quotations, real person, is confronted by Zeus, a movie character, and is presented as a real person. So they're saying that Zeus left the movie to come feud with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but didn't Hulk Hogan leave wrestling to go feud with Zeus?
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan was an actor. Yeah, Rip Taylor, which was his name in the movie. So Zeus is not a wrestler, FYI. Zeus is a actor.
Oh, I'll let you know that Wikipedia, he's still an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just only a wrestler for the time.
Yeah, they paid him to do that, and he was terrible. It was so stupid.
No, they didn't just pay him. They didn't just pay him.
Paid him handsomely.
He made like $150,000 for his appearances on WWF TV.
He didn't even fix his eye with that.
He made $56,000 for SummerSlam.
I felt bad for Macho Man in this match because his back must have hurt from carrying this match the whole time.
Yeah, but Macho Man has to know that going in.
Oh, and that's why they put him in there with him.
Yeah, I mean, Hulk's had Brutus fucking crawling up
and
his back.
Macho Man got paid handsomely. Let's get real here.
Because they knew Zeus could. They did the whole Zeus and Hulk alone in a match, and that just wasn't good. They couldn't do it.
Pre-tape.
So Zeus's instructions in this match were stand there, look scary, and be tough, and don't sell. And he did that really well. And
his offense was halfway decent too.
Well, his offense was bear hugging. He had the most devastating bear hugging wrestling history.
Like two-hand slam on guys' backs. That was cool.
And Miss Elizabeth comes out. Is there a bigger pop than when Miss Elizabeth comes out to the places? She is.
So I as I'm watching it, I'm like, we have to talk about big pops. And then we go, Hulk Hogan blows the roof off. Mm-hmm. And then Brutus the Barber Beefcake, I'm like, why is his pop so big? And then Miss Elizabeth comes out, and good God.
There is some weird parts in this match. Hulk can't slam Zeus, but a few years ago, Hulk Hogan could slam Andre.
Oh, it's because Zeus has gravitational boots.
I guess.
The lifts, speaking of boots.
Yeah, Zeus had lifts in his shoes.
So the amount of rubber on his boots is crazy. So he was taller than Hulk Hogan.
Well, Zeus's build at 6'5".
Hulk Hogan's build at 6'6".
Yeah, I think that might be... I think, then I would guess that Zeus had a little more billing.
So this was an absolute train wreck.
I'm
fun
sure.
to watch. I watched the whole thing.
I really actually thought that was a good match.
It was pretty fun. It was a good way to end it. They were built between the four guys really well. Meltzer gave it 2.5. Matt, would you give it?
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I had a 3 in my score. I had a 2.3.
2.3?
2.3 on that one.
Can I just say, can we just talk about the Hogan formula?
Why was it that high?
What? Put a big heel in front of him.
Why was the match that high? Like, why did you guys?
Because it's entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it's just the entertainment factor.
Okay, yeah.
And the story.
I'm just curious. I don't understand. But...
Hogan gets a lot of crap for not being a great worker and all this kind of stuff. You want to know what Hogan does incredibly well?
Put other people over?
No.
No, put himself over.
Oh, yeah.
Late in the game.
No, whoa. Hogan...
Hey, we're recording at Pat's house because he's been cracking things like left, right, and center.
And he doesn't know how to pour a beer.
Yeah, and it's his third water.
But Hogan controls the crowd incredibly well. Like, he really knows how to ebb and flow the crowd.
Yeah. He's a draw. That's what draws do.
But the Hogan formula in a match is what I'm talking about. He comes out, he gets a hot start. He gets the crowd going, and then he gets the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah.
And then there's a rest move. And then he hulks up. He no-sells it. He hulks up. He gets his comeback. Leg drop of doom. We're done. We're in there. Yeah. By the way, there was 5 rest moves in this match. Yeah. Holy smokes.
Matt, how many rest moves would you have liked to see in that match? 5 less?
It was a 15-minute match. 1. I would have been okay with 1.
That's a serious answer. I was joking.
Because Randy Savage worked the whole match. Yeah. So he needed a rest move in there.
So, well, that's the end of that card. So, Matt, all in all, would you cheers it, sip it, or chug it? Jordan, cheers is the one you're looking for if it's really good.
I'm going to abstain due to lack of knowledge on what this means.
I'm going to sip this card. It was not...
Is that our first sip?
No, we've had lots of sips.
Huh?
When Pat was picking pay-per-views, we had a lot of like sips and chugs. So.
Fair, that's true. Pat picked apparently crappy pay-per-views.
Yes.
Not that I watched.
But this is a sip because...
You're a fraud. You're a fraud. You don't even watch.
This is a sip because you can get through it. It's entertaining. It's 80s. Anything from the 80s is mildly entertaining, I feel like.
For nostalgia purposes.
And you're like, I can't believe this was on TV.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll sip it 2. I'll sip at 0.1, I think.
Sip 0.1 is.
Sip 0.1. And yeah, so it was pretty fun. It was a good one to watch, Matt. Next week though, we're not watching a pay-per-view.
What do you mean?
We're gonna switch it up, I think, because we're gonna try out a couple things.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do, we don't have a name for it.
Yeah. So Pat, would you like me to
explain, please?
Explain it? I will do just that. So basically what we want to do next week is we realize that if we just go through all the retro pay-per-views, at some point we're going to run out of pay-per-views.
And we're going to get bored.
We're going to get very bored. So what we're going to do...
Okay, full disclosure, Pat just doesn't want to commit 3 hours a week to a pay-per-view.
I don't blame him.
So much.
Imagine editing this
I have 2 kids and I'm fine.
Anyways, wow.
I got kids.
You know what? How many times do we just do this podcast and Matt's like, I have children. And then like...
Do you know what it's like to have kids? Do you know what it's like?
I have a very wonderful fluffy dog.
Oh yeah, my dog's in this cage. We gotta get it out of there. Hurry up.
No, we're gonna leave it. No, just kidding. So next week, what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna do a ranking. We're gonna come up with a name for it. However, what we want to do is Jordan is gonna throw out a question, and each of us are going to take our picks, kind of like a snake draft. Are we stealing this from the most popular sports podcast on the planet? Yes.
I thought we were the most popular sports podcast.
Only in Canadian beer and wrestling.
South Winnipeg, right?
Yeah, Canadian beer and wrestling, yeah. But the point is we think this will be a great way to switch up the content and keep our retro reviews for every other week. However, if you want us to switch that, you're going to want to send a letter to Pat's home address, which we're going to be releasing on Instagram later this week.
Oh, will we?
Yeah, just a written letter, long form.
Don't piss me off this week.
Long form. Specifically, whatever bank Pat uses, just put it on that letterhead so he thinks it's legit and he opens it, all right? That's what we're going to want to do. But next week, we're going to switch it up a little bit for you guys and give you a little something different.
Yeah. Which we always like, a little something different. We're going to have some beers, we're going to enjoy ourselves, and Jordan's going to be wrong, Matt's going to be wrong, Pat's going to be right. But always, from now on, we'll always have Dusty Rhodes at the podcast.
Dusty Rhodes.
We all son of the Plumber, and I want you to remember to follow us on Instagram, at Bros Bumps and Beers. Also on Twitter, Bros Bumps Beers. Follow us on Apple Podcast, give us a review, 5-star review. And also, remember to hashtag Drink Local. We will see you next week.
Who knew that Dusty Rhodes lived with us this whole time?